WWE, and I am here with my co-host, my husband.
Why did you say husband like that? My co-host, my husband.
And contrary to popular belief, the father of the moon.
Wait, who doesn't believe it?
Lots of people don't believe it on Twitter and Instagram. Apparently, the moon was actually born out of the Zeus.
Zeus. Uh-oh.
The dog.
I don't think we want to take the podcast in that direction.
No, I don't think so. Probably a bad idea.
I don't think so.
But we are here in Ottawa, Illinois, and we are back with Mike and Maria in Wonderland after a gigantic hiatus.
Mm-hmm. It was big.
It
was a big hiatus.
It was huge.
Huge, guy.
It was huge.
Really huge hiatus. Well, we were going through stuff.
You were going through stuff. You were going through stuff. And then I went through stuff after that.
It was like a quarter life crisis I was dealing with.
A quarter life?
Quarter.
You were not 25.
Yeah, but I also wasn't midlife.
No, but you were in
I was in the middle.
There,
so
like 33%.
I was closer to, no, now I'm at 33%, if I assume I'm living to 100. I was closer to a quarter than I am half. Mm-hmm. So we'll say quarter and some change.
So for those of you who
I was like 29 cents deep.
Sure. So for those of you who don't know, Mike and I used to have a podcast. It was called Mike and Maria in Wonderland, just like this one is.
Yes.
Convenient. And we talked about lots of stuff.
Life.
Yeah, life and
politics,
more life and
wrestling,
politics and wrestling,
movies, music.
We had guests.
Like Matt
Kevin.
Hardy and Adam Cole and
Kevin Owens. We had lots of different guests.
We did.
And that was fantastic. We had writers on.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. But then life happened. We got married, and then we stopped podcasting. So we're back, and we're excited to be back. And maybe we should tell you a little bit about what's happened since then. We got married. We went on a honeymoon. It was fantastic. And then we were working for Ring of Honor at the time, which was great. And then we worked for TNA, which was also great. And then we moved on to WWE.
Yeah, currently. That's where we are currently.
Currently, we are in WWE.
I'm there. You're kind of...
I'm trying.
You're trying to get back.
I'm trying to get back.
Yeah.
I was pregnant, and it was a big surprise. Was it a big surprise to you?
Yeah, so.
So. Why is just so?
I don't know. I felt like the universe was aligned.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think
I could
it was
feel
about
it
time?
in the tides of the ocean because we were having a moon and she did it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Anyways.
The tides.
Yes.
You want me to keep going?
We all get it.
It's a joke.
Yes, all right, and it was unexpected, but I do have to say that WWE was awesome about it. They were so supportive, especially because we told them the day after Miz and Maurice told them, and they could have been very frustrated.
Hey, look, this person just tweeted that or Instagrammed I'm a jobber.
Are you a jobber?
I don't know. I have a job.
See, you must be a jobber.
Thank you.
But, because we told them that we were pregnant the day after Miz and Maurice told them they were pregnant, we were surprised at the reaction that we got. But it was amazing.
Very supportive.
They
took
supported
care of
us.
You, me. They were great.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for a better experience.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
I mean, it was difficult for me because I really wanted to be at work.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to experience throughout my pregnancy and also be on WWE because that was my dream and my goal to get back there, and that was our dream and our goal.
But let's be honest, it was more difficult on me.
Oh, why is that?
Well, I mean, I'm selfish, so I wanted you to be on the road with me. I didn't want anyone to miss. Now I had someone to miss. That was always my ongoing thing. Is everyone was always like, "Oh, life on the road, it's so tough because you miss your wife and your kids." At that time, we didn't have any kids, so I was like, I don't have anyone to miss. My wife's on the road with me. It's perfect. So selfishly, it was more difficult on me.
you weren't pregnant.
Fine. Fair enough.
You got in better shape when I got pregnant. Can we talk about this?
No, let's not.
Can we talk about
This
the
makes
fact
you
that
angry.
every year we've been together for 7 years. We have had an ongoing competition every single WrestleMania that whoever had the best abs. It didn't even matter. If we could be working for different companies, we still set a goal.
I never
at
won.
WrestleMania.
It's just laid out on line. I never won. I
at
know where you're
Wrestle-
getting at. I didn't win.
I'm going to finish
Okay.
telling this lovely story I have going here. So we had this ongoing competition every WrestleMania, who had the better abs, and every year I won. 6 years in a row, I won, and then year 7, while I'm pregnant, this guy decides, oh, I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to find my abs.
Well,
yeah. Look at me.
if you think
Look
about
at
it-
how hot I am with my little abbies.
you do a great impression of me. If you think about it, the joke's really on me. Because the 1 year that I could have literally done nothing and still have better abs because you had
What is that supposed to mean?
What do you think it means?
What-
You had a
what-
human child in your belly. If I had a human child in my belly would be large. It's science. It's fact.
Is that science?
It is science.
Is it
And it's
science?
fact. You can
Okay.
probably do some sort of mathematical equation to figure it out. But I didn't have to do anything, and yet I still worked hard. So the joke's on me. I'm an idiot. I could have done nothing. I could have just
you
eaten
won't win
pizza.
next year?
Well, I'm not going to win next year. I already know this.
I'm working on it. We have a trainer that decides to kill us every single time we go in there
I
because
don't know.
I told him,
know why we pay
I
him."
would like to have abs by the Evolution pay-per-view. So if you could figure this out, that would be awesome. And so what happens? He kills us in the gym.
Yeah, and then we leave, and I go, why are we paying this guy? We're paying him to torture us.
Yes.
I wish people would pay me to torture them.
That sounds horrible.
I know.
Nah, maybe we'll cut that out.
No.
Live people, you don't remember that. But
Go to Craigslist.
It's so creepy. I thought it's so creepy. Is that what you do at night?
No.
Are you sure? Yeah.
No. Zeus does, but I don't. Zeus is our 5-pound chihuahua.
Yeah. Speaking of Zeus, Zeus Blitzer has the weather.
He does. We haven't gone to him yet, though. So.
I'd like to go to Zeus Blitzer with the weather.
I don't think he's ready yet.
Is that ready?
He's still putting on his suit.
The 5-pound Chihuahua is still putting on his suit.
He's got to make sure his hair is perfect.
He looks like Wolf Blitzer.
He does look like Wolf Blitzer.
I don't know how we got the same last
Maybe
name.
for the people that are watching live, we can show a picture of Zeus and Wolf Blitzer
And you want to do that at the same time?
side by side.
Okay. So is there anything else that happened during this hiatus that you would like to inform people about?
I don't know. You tell him and then chime me in while I'm looking up for Wolf Blitzer and Zeus.
All right. So Mike had some significant changes in the last year.
To put it mildly, I don't want Wolf Blitzer's salary. I don't care about his salary or his age. I just want to show that he looks like my chihuahua.
That's awesome, honey. I'm sure that the people at home really care about
He
that.
really looks like Zeus in that
Yeah,
picture.
he does.
All right, so this is.
There you go.
there's-
There you go.
There's
For the
Wolf
people at
Blitzer.
home, we are now showing a photo of Wolf
Of Wolf
Blitzer.
Blitzer. There's Wolf Blitzer.
Okay.
All right, people
Yes.
on YouTube.
Yep. There you go.
There's Wolf Blitzer.
Perfect.
See him?
Awesome.
All right, now here comes the big reveal of Zeus Blitzer.
Zeus Blitzer has
Find it
he's
good.
got his own life, his own
He has his own voice.
his own voice. He also is going to tell us the weather. All right, you got him?
No, I'm still. I have a lot of pictures of baby on here, but not of Zeus.
Of the moon.
They flipped. I used to have all pictures of Zeus.
Okay, I'm going to continue with your story
Yeah,
that you
going.
you aren't telling.
I will tell after I
apparently.
find Zeus.
Okay, so and before the last year of inventing himself.
Pictures with my shirt
Before that, why do you have so many pictures of your shirt off?
'Cause
They're
I'm
not getting sent to
I'm
me.
a narcissist.
Yes, yes, you are. You're like, ooh, Instagram, look at these abs.
Oh, look
we
at
just
me.
discussed these abs already, but we're doing it again.
So many baby pictures. Oh, my goodness. Okay,
Okay.
sorry. Keep talking.
I am. I'm trying to get through the story here.
All
So Mike had an addiction for 3.5 years, and then I just lay it all out there, just
Thank
like
you.
that. See, that was good. It felt nice, you know. So he had an addiction to painkillers, Killers for 3.5 years. And that was including when he arrived at WWE. So
Good job, me.
we had a crazy past year because not only were we dealing with me being pregnant and then having the moon, but also Mike recovering from his addiction, which has been widely discussed. Okay, and there's Zeus.
There's Zeus.
Okay, you better make sure that there's like no naked photos underneath. Look at, you're showing all the pictures underneath
Oh, I
as well.
told you, it's pictures of Zeus and then me with my shirt off. That's nothing, everyone's seen that before.
Right now, Mike
They're
is
like,
showing...
oh, there's a picture of Zeus and Mike, the narcissist.
Good. Mike?
Zeus looks just like Wolf Blitzer.
Okay, is Zeus ready to tell us the weather, or is he...
He'll tell us after we talk about the story.
The
It's gone
story? Okay, so 3.5 years of a painkiller addiction. What happened? What caused you to...
I don't remember.
Oh my God.
No, all joking aside, yes, for about 3.5, almost 4 years, I was addicted to painkillers. So, truthfully, when I tell you I don't remember, there's a lot I don't remember because it's a fog and a mental haze. There were a lot of negativity, a lot of almost getting divorced, lots of fights and sleepless nights, and lots of me being a complete and utter idiot. Yeah, I've talked about this at length with WWE and on certain shows for them and different YouTube videos, and I've talked about it at length on my Twitter and Instagram, but basically the gist is I dislocated my knee, 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And I was prescribed pain medication for it, which worked wonderfully, as it usually does, and I got healed. But as most people know, that when you start on painkillers, you can become addicted to them rather quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And let's backtrack. After I hurt my knee, I wasn't addicted. I mean, I took them, I liked them, I kept taking them, but I wasn't at the point where I was at for a long time. But then, right before we went to Japan,
Mm-hmm.
I broke a rib. So lo and behold, in our healthcare system, what do? They prescribe you more painkillers as opposed to trying to fix the problem. And I was just like, I got to get through this tour of Japan, so I didn't really care what they gave me. They could have given me like chicken's blood and been like, drink this and you'll be good. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I just wanted to get through the tour. But that set me on a spiral out of control. And from that point, we started working for a new wrestling company where we weren't wrestling very often. So most of my day was spent sitting on the couch, doing a whole lot of nothing. And then maybe once a week, we would go down to Orlando and film TV. So my life got...
It was more like once a month we would go.
Sorry,
for a
once
week.
a month. Yeah, once a month for a week, or once every 2
Mm-hmm.
months. And my life, that's when it began to spiral out of control because I got very bored. So what an addict does when they're bored is they just do more drugs, and they do more drugs, and they do
Did you
more
know
drugs.
though? Did you know that you had an issue?
No, so what kind of happens is you convince yourself that you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You find people on TV shows, or you see documentaries, and you point to like the worst addict you could possibly imagine. Someone who's homeless, has been on heroin for 25 years, is selling all their stuff for drug, and you look at them and you go, okay, that's an addict. I'm not that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that bad yet, so I'm not an addict. When in reality, if you look at it, I was taking pills when I woke up in the morning. I was taking pills in the afternoon. I was taking pills in the evening after the gym, and then I was taking pills right before I went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Still convincing myself that I wasn't an addict, even though I literally couldn't get through the day without taking pills. So if you do the math, it's like every 4 hours I was taking
And what would
pills.
happen if you didn't take it?
I would get very angry. I was an angry man. I don't know if I would just get agitated. So everything, like if we were out and it was hitting that 4 or 5 hour mark, I would be like, we gotta get home. We gotta get home. I gotta get to the gym. I gotta do that. All thinking of excuses why I have to get home. I gotta go to the bathroom. We gotta go home. I gotta take a shower. We gotta go home. Or I think I left the heat on, or whatever. Anything stupid to convince yourself so you can get there.
But did you
and get
know
home.
you were making excuses for that, or did you think you were just you really needed to do those things?
I think 50-50.
Yeah.
I think there's a part of you that there are certain days when you're like, oh God, yes, I need to get home because I need drugs. but then you just convince yourself that, well, I really need to get home because I gotta go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are other days when I think your body tells you through certain ways that you have to get home. You know,
Mhm.
like your body will just make you tired. So then you're like, I got to get home because now I'm tired.
Mhm.
Or, you know, I think your body sends you signals that you need more drugs. So you keep, you know, whatever it is. I don't know. Or your body just makes you feel hurt again. I think that was one of the excuses I used all the time. Oh, my back hurts.
Did you ever regret it when you were doing it?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Mhm.
There were so many times like I'd drive to the gym and then I would just drive in circles, being like, "What am I doing in my life?" Like, you know, I would go to the gym and be right around that point where I wanted to take more drugs, so I wouldn't go to the gym, and then I just sit in the parking lot trying to convince myself to go in the gym, but knowing that I didn't. I just wanted to go home and sit on the couch and pop pills and watch TV
And eat goldfish.
and eat goldfish
I hate
and drink
goldfish
diet
now.
soda, which is all I did.
hate goldfish.
You know, real healthy athletic diet that I was on.
Uh-huh.
Painkillers, diet soda,
And he
goldfish.
wonders why I beat him every year on the ab
Yeah,
competition.
I had no idea.
And I would tell him, and he just.
But yeah, you sit in the parking lot and you're like, oh God, what am I doing? Like you
Mhm.
just, you know, I don't know. A lot of it is a fog.
Yeah.
I know
I mean,
that
there's a culture of it now. There's a lot of there's a lot of people, especially in small towns, that have this issue because of boredom. And
I think
like you said, you were bored that year.
Yeah.
And what have you found now to fulfill that need?
I mean, honestly, one of the best things that ever happened to me was honestly, and this, you know, people go, oh, well, you work there, so you have to say this, but I don't. Was working for WWE. It was literally the best. I don't think if I wasn't working for WWE, I would have gotten clean and sober. Because for a couple reasons. A, you have to be clean and sober to work for WWE because we get drug tested, and I have been tested many times since I've gotten clean. So and Maria can tell you, I am clean. It's official because they test. But the fact that I was so busy with WWE after I decided to get clean, I think that was the biggest thing because I was on the road 4 or 5 days a week. So there was it kept me busy. So my mind was off it. So I would not, even when I thought about it, I was too busy to even think about it. Plus you're on the road. It's not like I can just grab painkillers wherever I want when I'm in Denver one night and then, you know, Cheyenne, Wyoming the next night, or wherever, you know, or LA, or I just, you know, my connections weren't that good, you know, so it's like, it's funny to think that way, but there are a whole bunch of different aspects that do play into helping you get clean. And to say that you couldn't have a direct connection to someone is a legit reason why people do get clean. That's why a lot of people move away from where they live because they're like, well, I know where to get everything I need here. If I live in Boston and I move to Chicago, I no longer have that easy solution. And being on the road with WWE, it was like, okay, when I lived in Providence, I knew exactly where to go.
Yeah.
But if I'm now living in Chicago and I'm now doing a West Coast loop in Sacramento, LA, San Diego, I don't have a clue where to go. And not only that, I'm not going to do that at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night when, you know, like it's just being busy and being so out of my element, I think, plays a huge role. And then on the flip side, I think, you know, with WWE being so supportive, I think, I mean, they found out and it was just like everyone understood, everyone was okay with it. Like it was just
they
like
did the special on
they
it
did the
too.
special on it. You know, people come up and they talk to you about it. You know, people say you need someone. It was just they didn't rip me off the road. If anything, they put me on the road more. They didn't punish me. They didn't like. I know everyone's like, oh, you're not being used on TV. Well, he's a drug addict, so he's punished. I've never been punished. Think about it. I say this all the time. They stuck by me when they didn't have to.
Yeah.
I was newly signed. They could have easily just been like, well, you didn't tell us this when you signed here. See you later. Like, and everyone would have been like.
I don't know if you knew. I don't know if you understood the full extent, though, when you signed with WWE.
No, and I didn't. But what I'm saying is after I came clean, they knew, and they could have easily just been like, well,
Mhm.
We don't need this hassle. We don't need this problem. You've barely been on TV.
Yeah.
We're not, but I was on the road every weekend.
Yeah.
I was busy every weekend. I was at every single TV, every single house show. I was working. I was
Yeah, and
grinding.
everybody likes to say, "Oh, well, you weren't there. They immediately took you off," or "Oh, you went to rehab," or whatever. You didn't.
That's the thing, and and I think I'm glad you bring it up because I want people to understand. Just because I wasn't on TV doesn't mean I wasn't working a full-time schedule.
Yeah.
Like TV is based on what's needed at that time, who needs it at that time.
Yeah.
There are plenty of guys that aren't on TV that work their asses off that you would never know because they're at every live event. They're on either main event, they're doing a dark match, they're doing NXT, they're doing two. Like there's certain things that just because they don't air on Raw or SmackDown doesn't mean guys aren't doing it. And everyone's like, oh, they instantly pulled you from the road. No, they put me on the road more.
Yeah.
I was wrestling every weekend, and Maria can attest to this because I was gone every weekend because she was at home pregnant, and I was gone every weekend. And just because I wasn't used on TV doesn't mean I was being punished. It just didn't have anything to do with me at that point. But to say they punished me or I didn't. And second of all, to get this room, I didn't go to rehab. I didn't.
We did our own rehab.
I did it myself. And
yeah, I mean, I think it would be
that.
good for people, especially those that had followed us before on Mike and Maria on Wonderland and now coming back from it. I think it would be good for people to know, like, what was that breaking point? Because one of the reasons that we stopped doing Mike and Maria on Wonderland back in 2014 was because of your addiction and because
I was lazy.
you were. Okay, I didn't want to put it out there.
I just put it out there. I was lazy.
And you didn't want to do it.
I didn't want to wake up. I didn't want to go to the gym. I
Yes.
sure as hell didn't want to do a podcast.
Yes.
I didn't want to do anything. I told you. I wanted to sit on my couch, eat goldfish, and drink Diet Coke.
And he used to drink a 12-pack of Diet Coke. And that was gross. And he wonders why I didn't have abs.
Well,
I mean, I can't say much now.
No
because
calories.
Now I just, no calories. No calories. Well, anyways, I think it would be good for people to hear, like, what was that breaking point? What made you decide? And I know, like, you've talked about it on YouTube before, but for Mike and Maria and Wonderland fans, and for people that were fans of us before we came into WWE, what was that breaking point?
Well, I was down in Orlando.
Yes.
We were down there. And
It was for the Mae Young Classic.
we were supposed to go to Universal.
Mm-hmm.
And me, the genius that I am, I had run out of all my prescription medication. So I would probably say I was in the beginning set of withdrawals.
Yes. But let me give you a little backstory on that. That week, he was supposed to come straight down to Orlando, Florida. He last minute booked a flight back to Providence, and he said it was to pick up some clean clothes, and then flew all the way back down to Orlando before we were going to do the Mae Young Classic after television that
Yes.
week.
I didn't need clean clothes. I had all the clothes I wanted. I needed a pick-me-up, and which I got, and then which I proceeded to take all of them within the next course of, 2-3 days?
Yeah, it was while we were at the Mae Young Classic,
so
so it was
like within
I think three days
two
there.
or 3 days. And then I was out, and I think we were going to be down there another week, right? Or at least another 5 days, 4 or 5 days.
because we were taking a mini vacation.
Yeah, and so I was out, and so the morning was just hell. We fought, we argued. I tried to figure out how I could get more medication while I was down there.
Mm-hmm.
Did everything that I could, and we fought again. There was a lot of tears shed, and then finally I couldn't take it anymore. Just a lot. I think the weight on my shoulders of trying to keep this alive for so long was harder than the actual addiction itself.
Yeah.
Because Maria had no one had a clue. Not a single person in my entire life knew.
Yes, and I felt like an idiot for that.
And so it was literally me taking drugs and then trying to convince people I didn't. Because no one, it wasn't even trying to convince people I didn't because they didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just trying to keep that secret constantly alive, and however that was, whether money was missing, it's because this happened, or I have to go to the gym early.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really to go to the gym early, it was to go grab more stuff. So it's like this constant struggle of trying to come up with these lies and then keep your lives straight, which, if you know, I'm not that good of a liar. I don't like to lie. I'm not that good of a liar. I have a very guilty conscience, so I think the constant 3 years of lying my conscience was just a big ball of mush at that point. And I was like, all right, I just can't do it anymore. And I just told her. I just told you in that parking lot in Orlando. She pulled over, and I was just losing it. And she's like, well, you have to tell me what's wrong. And I told her, and then she's like, all right, cell phone, wallet, everything handed over to me. If we're going to do this, I'm in control. And I was like, all right. And she, I mean, if you want to know what got me clean and sober, it was this one right here. And by this one, I mean my lovely wife. If it wasn't for her, I would still be an idiot.
I was like the Gestapo.
You
or
were.
something.
You took everything. But again, I think it's a good thing, because if you are serious about getting clean and sober, you don't, that's fine. And I was.
Yeah, but you have to trust a person to love you and not just hurt you.
Right.
Like, you know, there were times
and you said
that
to
I
me,
definitely
straight up, if we're going to do this right, I'm treating you like a child.
Yeah.
And okay. It had to be done.
Well, I think that everybody has this picture in their head of like what an addict looks like, and it's not like he went from being this total addict to trying to get clean and like anything really changed about you. Like you didn't look different. You always showered. Actually, I think you showered more when you were
I totally
on drugs.
shower less now because we have a child.
I shower.
I
don't understand.
Telling Maria today, I've showered twice today. For what reason, I don't know. But I've showered twice, and I was like, I think I showered.
Oh, I know why you
showered
twice today.
I think I showered more today than I have in the last week. I know, that's gross. But when you have a child, by the time your day is done, I'm just too tired to She goes to bed, I sit on the couch, I watch TV, and then I'm just like...
Not doing drugs.
Not doing drugs, just being exhausted because I have a child, and being like, all right, I should go to bed. I should shower first. No, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works.
I have to wash the sheets like 5 times as often. Actually, before I used to have to wash the sheets because you'd sweat.
I did sweat
everything.
A lot,
I don't know what it is about painkillers, but when you were doing painkillers, you were like a sweaty man.
Well, yeah.
Really
it's probably
gross.
because I was nervous.
While you were sleeping?
Hold on, our camera.
Ah, there we are. We're back.
Hi, what's happening? This is only a dream.
All right, we are doing Mike and Maria in Wonderland. It's our podcast from several years ago. We are bringing it back so that I remember how to use a microphone, basically.
Yes.
No. We are going to be talking about all things, and we have a few cleanup things, I guess, maintenance things that we have to accomplish before we can get into the real meat of Mike and Maria in Wonderland
Correct.
next episode. You know, just catch up. Not like on your sandwich, but catch you up.
Like a family of tomatoes are walking down the street, and the baby tomatoes trailing behind, so the dad reaches back and squeezes the tomato. Catch 'em.
This long pause here is to really emphasize my disgust. My disgust in the fact...
That's a dad joke.
It is a dad
That's
joke.
what we call a
you,
dad joke.
You are a dad, though.
Yeah.
Now it works, but you've always used these jokes.
Yes.
Even before you were a dad.
They're foolproof.
Your daily goal was for one time me to look at you with utter disgust.
It's usually the reaction. If I can get this reaction at one point during the day, it's been a successful day. I just look at her and she goes, oh. Yes, I have succeeded.
Yeah?
Yeah. And it's usually something stupid.
Uh-huh. So do you want to continue on with after you told me in the parking lot, and after I took all of your stuff away?
Thank you.
Yes. What happened next? Do you remember? You went to the hotel?
I went to the hotel.
Yep.
I almost destroyed the hotel.
Yes. Like a crazy person.
Like a crazy person.
Mm-hmm. And then?
I don't know. You tell. I don't know where you're trying to go, so I don't...
Yeah, but then we called a good friend.
We did.
I called a good friend of ours, Matt Taven, and got his advice. Because...
And then you called my mom.
Because you don't... When you're a person that's trying to help someone to start the process of recovery, you don't really know what to do.
Yes.
There's no, like, manual. And with such... Like, there's a big problem nowadays with this. Where, you know, you don't know how to help. And so I called Taven, and I thought maybe Taven was like...
But again, I think, not to cut you off, but I think the common misconception about addicts is, again, what
Like once an addict, always an addict, like these people are saying on Instagram right
well,
now?
I mean, I think that's true. I think
Yeah.
once you're, I mean, I am a struggling addict every day. I
Yes.
know that's trying to be an insult, but it's actually like, thank you, because it's the truth. And everyone that's probably someone who wasn't an addict and is just trying to be a jerk. But in reality, it's a constant thing you're struggling with every day. It's a disease. So like, there's a lot of diseases that lay dormant or they go into what's the word I'm looking for? Remission.
Mm-hmm.
And you still, you know, like, I don't know. I like to consider myself you know, I survived addiction.
Mhm.
Just like people survive cancer, or they survive AIDS, or they survive polio, like whatever disease you have, it's always there. It makes you who you are. I mean, I always tell people, I'm like, I defeated addiction. I'm a badass. You know, if you can turn like.
That's
What
what he
have
says
you-
to himself in the mirror.
What have you defeated today? I
weirdly,
defeated
while
addiction.
he's taking photos.
But in all
of himself.
seriousness,
Of
I
course!
think it's a good
It's
message
empowering.
to send to people,
Yes.
like, because they take it because we have this perception of what an addict is, and it's someone that is strung out on the street, sleeping
Yes.
against a trash can, and
Mhm.
they're just, you know, they're homeless, they stink, whatever. It's all these things, and I think that's people's idea of what an addict is. Where I
Mhm.
think that's probably just a small percentage, where the addicts in real life are your brothers, your sisters, your moms, your dads, your neighbors, your friends, anyone, your next door neighbor that you would. Most of the people that come out as addicts, everyone's usually like, "What?" You know?
I
And
had no idea.
yeah, and I think it's important for someone that like me that has a high profile job
Mhm.
to come out and be like, yes, this happens to everybody in any situation. Actually,
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago when Mick Foley was at the show,
Mhm.
we were talking backstage, and he was just like, you know, he was saying, you know, sometimes I'll retweet what you put up on Twitter, and I was like, yeah, I was like, you know, he's like, I think it's important to get that message out there, and I said to him, I was like, that was one of the biggest reasons why I decided to tell my story, because when I came clean, again, no one knew. Me and Maria and my immediate family knew, and I probably could have kept it secret.
Yeah.
That no one was going to know. I didn't go to rehab. I didn't put it out there. But I also wanted to put out a story that people could relate to, or that people could understand. Or when there was a face of addiction, they didn't think of the homeless guy on the street. They could point and go, oh my God, a WWE superstar on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or NXT, they're going through the same thing my brother's going through. They went through the same thing my mom's going through. And it's hard. People can now connect to it.
Yeah.
They don't have to be like, oh, when they tell someone, oh, my mom's or I'm an addict, people don't instantly look at them as the thug or disgusting human on the street that most people perceive as what an addict is.
Mhm.
They can now go, no, so-and-so is an addict, or so, you know, like,
Mhm.
I just think it's important where all these stories comes out, where like, you know, Rob Lowe puts his story out.
Mhm.
Robert Downey Jr. puts his story. Everyone can now connect these faces, which I'm going on a rant here, but I think
That's okay.
I think that's important, and that's the biggest reason why I came out.
Mhm. So I called Taven, and Taven gave me some advice. Your family gave me some advice, but then we ended up going to the emergency room,
We did.
and we had lovely people
Yeah.
in the emergency room. Like, no judgment, no. He was great, and you know, they put you on some medication to make sure that when you
I like to say they put me on vomicillin. They put me on medicine as though I wouldn't vomit, but I like to call it vomicillin.
Vomicillin, okay. They gave you that, and for the next couple of days, we stayed in this beautiful
We
resort
did.
because it was supposed to be a vacation while you went through your withdrawals.
Low Sapphire in Orlando.
Low Sapphire.
Great place.
Yes, it's much better now that we've gone back and
Yeah.
experienced it with the moon.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
That was
pretty
really
crazy.
my rehab. Was like a week at Low Sapphire. With,
Yes, but then we ended up going to what the heck is the place called? By Providence, Newport. We went to
we did go to
Newport.
Newport, Rhode Island,
You can hear my accent when I talk about
yes. Newport.
when I.
We're down in Ravia, guy.
Is that Tommy?
That's Tommy coming out for the sports.
Tommy in sports. Do you
Yeah.
have anything to say about the
No, I
Patriots
just
this
said
Sunday?
it I'll tell you more about the Red Sox banner we stole.
What about this Red Sox?
No,
fan?
I'll tell you later when you come to me for sports. I gotta finish playing Madden.
Oh, okay. All right, so then we went to Newport, and you did a lot of walking.
I did. A lot of walking.
We couldn't go back to the house.
No.
I think that was the biggest struggle.
Our house in Providence.
Yes,
Yeah.
our house in Providence. We couldn't go back to because it was too many bad memories, and we ended up moving out of there very quickly after you came clean because we just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
We ended up spending a lot of time at your parents' house.
My parents' house, your parents' house.
We came here.
We were
like
basically nomads.
yes, because the inside of our apartment was just it was too much.
It was a constant reminder.
Yeah,
Constant
and I mean,
trigger.
and so some people say like you can't move away from your problems or whatever, but there is something to going away from the triggers. And for you, one of the triggers was being in Providence.
Being in that area, yeah.
Yeah, and so
But I've gone back since, and it's fine.
Yeah.
So I think there is a.
And you have a lot of regret about that.
Yeah, I think there's a certain level of truth to don't run away from your problems.
Yes.
But I also think there's a certain level of surrounding yourself and getting away from people that are toxic or areas that are toxic for you. So I don't think you should confuse running away from your problems with removing toxic things or people from your life,
I think that's a really good way to put it.
which is what I did. And
Yeah.
I didn't run away. I just decided that at this moment, in order for me to get to where I want to be, I don't need this toxic lifestyle. So we moved to Chicago.
We did.
And it was the best
Well,
thing.
We
And-
moved to Ottawa, Illinois,
Well,
which
yeah.
is not quite
Sorry,
Chicago.
we moved to Ottawa, Illinois. Yeah. I still, Chicago's what I tell. Where'd you move to? Chicago. Okay. Yeah, we got it. Good.
Well, and then people think that we live in some high rise
Yeah,
in the
I
middle
know.
of the city.
Let them-
And no,
screw it.
that's not. Well, we probably shouldn't tell people where we actually live.
No.
It's so small, and everybody in town knows exactly where we live. So that's
they do.
awesome. There's drive-bys
Like,
and
Listen, I get it if you come back to town and they're like, oh, Maria's back, and they know everything about you. You
Yes.
grew up here.
hmm
They know everything about me. I grew up in Carver, Massachusetts. That is the furthest out east you could possibly go in this country without falling into the ocean. And they somehow know where I live. They know everything about me. Walking right into the store. Hey, you guys just moved up on. Yeah, we did. Cool. Please don't show up in my house. And if you're gonna show up between the hours of 4:30 and 6:30 when the child is screaming her head off. You can come in and sit with her and play with her.
yeah, you can entertain the moon.
Yeah, but after 7 o'clock, do not show up at my door because she is sleeping, and I will throw you into my doorway. Yes, you will get a swirly. Free swirlies.
Free swirlies.
At the Bennett Canellis household.
Yes.
If you show up after 7.
After 7 o'clock, free swirlies.
Yeah.
That sounds
Or
like
I'll just throw dirty diapers at you as you sit on my lawn.
yes.
I have a whole bag of them that are sitting in the bathroom right now.
Well, they're in a nice.
I'll light them on fire and throw them at you like they're Molotov cocktails. when
Holy cow!
when they hit, the poop just.
Oh my! That is horrifying.
Don't show up at my house after 7 unannounced.
Huh? You got any other threats for me?
No, that's the only one.
Just dirty diapers.
I will
and-
throw them all.
Yeah, we always talk about the witching hour because lots of people experience this with their own children. And kids really, I don't know what happens. Either when they come off and like home from school, or if they're babies and getting ready for when it's almost time to go to bed. For some reason, babies go nuts. Witching hour, like it's 4 o'clock until 7 or whatever your kid's bedtime is. Some people do the 9 o'clock bedtimes for young kids, and then they move it up as the kids get a little bit older. But 7 is when we put the moon to bed, and holy cow!
Well, she loves her bedtime.
Oh yeah.
Once 6:30 hits, she knows it's bath time, right into bedtime, and she loves it. But up until 6:30, 4:30 to 6:30, I don't.
We've talked about having parades on our front lawn.
It's a tough one.
Because she loves people.
Yeah.
So, we've thought about doing that, but, she's a wild woman at that time.
Crazy.
Cute as can be, but wild.
Angry.
And yes, very angry.
Angry.
Has the moon helped with your recovery?
Oh, it's the best thing. I don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's, again, going back to a couple weeks ago, I was talking to Nick and my buddy Singh brother, and we were just talking about it, and I had just come up on 14 months. And it was actually 2 days prior I had come up to 14 months, and I didn't even remember.
14 months sober.
14 months sober, yeah, and I didn't even remember. And I was like, you know what? I think that's a good thing when
Yeah.
you stop remembering, because at first you're like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
You're
1
like
month.
one day.
Yeah, one day. You do because you get proud. I vividly remember being proud of that 1 week mark.
Yes.
Looking back and being like, oh my God, it was a week.
Mhm.
Now I'm gonna go on to 15 months in
Yeah.
a few weeks. And you're just like, but I
And
forget now.
I wonder, like, because when I got pregnant, it was sometime at the beginning of July. And you came out about your addiction a few weeks after that. And you came out about your addiction 2 weeks before we found out I was pregnant.
Mhm.
I just wonder sometimes if God, the universe, something was just like, you know what?
The moon.
You need to be clean because your wife is pregnant
Mhm.
and you need to not be a Looney Tune
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah. And
I think it was the moon. I think it was the moon telling the universe, all right, that's enough. You played around, and you had some fun.
Mhm.
Now I'm on my way.
But
Chill out.
But you didn't have as much fun when you were.
No, I just fell asleep.
Yeah, I mean,
It was a lot of just.
you didn't want to do stuff.
No.
Like now, you like to go and do things.
I just would, I'd sit on the couch and fall asleep and then get up and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't wake up until like 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah, noon or 1. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Early morning made me sick. I was just like, oh.
And now you're up with the moon.
Now I'm up at like 7.
7.
It's like,
Yes.
oh God, still feel the same way. Oh God, the morning time, but it's not drug induced. It's just
No,
tired
but it's
induced. It's
because
just baby induced.
We've been up with the moon 15
Yeah,
times
feeding her
a night.
600 times.
It's like, baby, please, it is time to cut down some of these night feedings. And she
But I
is
think-
good when you're not home.
I
But
think to a degree, I think you are what got me off drugs, and she is what keeps me off.
yeah,
Because now it's like, I would like to. I like to think that the reason I took drugs is just because I couldn't handle my issues, couldn't handle what I was going through mentally, depression from not working all the time, low self-esteem. Like I like to think that's what, which I honestly think it was, because pain started it, but I think I already had these underlying issues, which just, you got hurt, you took painkillers, and then you're like, oh my God, I feel great. I don't even worry about this anymore.
Mhm.
So I think those issues, not having to think about them, but
Mhm.
now the way I handle my depression or anything mentally
Mhm.
is with her.
yeah,
Like instantly, if I'm having a bad day on the road or I'm at home and I'm stressed, instantly it's like you get that thought of, I don't want to feel this way anymore. But then you look at her, and not only does she not make you feel that way anymore, but you're just like, all right, I can't do anything because I got to be good for her.
Mhm.
And it's instantly that quick.
yeah,
It's instantly, okay, I'm good now.
yeah. Well, this morning was interesting because we had a photo shoot for her 6-month birthday, or how would we? She's gonna be 6 months old next week, and so we did a
6
photo
month
shoot.
Labor Day.
I don't after delivery. I don't know.
Delivery Day.
Delivery day. But so we had this photo shoot, and it used to be that when we would have to do anything, you would dread it, and it would be miserable, and then maybe
Well,
sometimes
now I was up this morning watching Mickey Mouse Club.
you were
Screaming,
singing.
hot dog, hot diggity dog, hot dog, hot diggity dog. And Freddie was just sitting there just like watching it, and I'm just like, hot dog, hot dog. I've only been up for like 5 minutes too.
Uh-huh. It was
But that
impressive.
pre-workout kicked in, and I was ready to go.
Yes, yeah, you were good. You were good to go. And the photo shoot was lovely.
It was. It was
And
very
I
happy.
had a sparkly dress on, and I was terrified to hold her because those sequins are a little sharp, and she likes to grab everything now.
She does.
So you ended up holding her most of the time and taking care of her most of the time.
All of
And,
the time.
okay, all of
I
the
held them
time.
the whole time.
Hmm.
Hated every minute of it.
Yes, I'm sure you did. Oh my! Wrapped around my finger.
Especially when I was feeding her, and I had that picture.
What? And the picture that you posted today on
Yes,
Instagram?
yes.
Yeah, the adorable picture that you had.
I will find it.
Now, does Zeus want to give the weather, or are you? Is Zeus not?
He's not ready yet.
He's not ready. All right. Well, just let me know when Zeus is ready for the weather,
Okay, I will.
or when Tommy wants to tell me about the Patriots.
Not yet. We'll get there.
Tell me about the banner.
No, not the banner. That's special. That's sports.
I
Here we
know
go.
that. Oh gosh, she's
This
showing
is-
photos again.
This is her. I should make sure. Oh, yeah. This is her.
Okay, yes, that is our
This is what I did today.
wonderful one. Yes, she's adorable. Thank you. Uh-huh.
So cute.
Yes.
Good.
I'm now chopped liver. I used to be number 1. Now I'm
You're number 2.
thank you. They call me number 2.
Who does number 2 work for?
I don't know. Who does number 2 work for?
That's so. Being the mature, responsible father that I am, the moon tends to make very obvious faces when she's, how do I put this, taking a dump. How do I put this elegantly?
You know
Pooping her
what? When
pants.
she's like 18 years old and she listens to this, or somebody's like, "Hey, look at when you were a baby, your dad said this."
But she makes very obvious faces that she's
Yes.
excreting. Is that the right word?
Ew! What a gross word on the level of the top of my not to use words.
Okay.
That is on there.
Excreting and moist.
No! Bad.
So, anyways, she makes obvious faces. And
Yes.
it's like in noises that sound like this. And then heavy breathing. So, usually, being the responsible father that I am, I sit there and I just tell her to grip the couch and give it hell. And then constantly I'll be screaming from the other room, "Who does number 2 work for?" To which Freddie finds hilarious.
Yes,
As she's
good.
pooping.
Good.
Taking a
I'm
excrete.
very glad. Okay, so every
Poo-poo
week
time.
we are going to do a little fun segment, read the tweet, where each of us will read 5 tweets. We will try not to comment on these tweets. We will try not to.
It's basically we're reading mean tweets.
Mean tweets, yes.
Mean tweets.
Mean. Well, then I gotta find more mean tweets.
It's professional wrestling mean tweets.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to do
I
it?
don't know. I could probably find a mean. No, you probably have more mean tweets than I do.
Well, I get the mean tweets, but
Some of them you probably can't read
well,
on air.
I got a peach. I can read things.
That's not negative. That just means you get a nice butt.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting to do mean tweets.
Oh,
now,
okay, just-
Now I'm all screwed up here. Well, okay. So recently I put up a comment about being a manager in WWE and how I think that it's an important job as well. And I was curious because I've been a manager for most of my career. I've managed in wrestling for a lot longer than I've wrestled. I actually haven't been an in-ring competitor full-time for 8 years. So I have no, no kind of lollipop and fairy tale dreams about my in-ring ability at this point in my career or my life. So I commented about how I think that people are valuable within wrestling that aren't necessarily in-ring competitors. So one person eloquently put it, "Screw the haters." So
That's
thank you.
always a
Thank
nice
you,
way to
Stephen
put it.
Thomas. Yes. He was telling me to screw the haters and that managers are important. WWE Stan said, "Coming for the Bellas and Ronda." And that was in relationship to a tweet that I put about being at the doctor to see if my wrist will be cleared. Should I tell him? Or should I wait?
Tell him.
Tell him
Tell him.
about my wrist?
Yes.
Or just something else?
No,
Like,
tell him about your
my
wrist.
favorite color is green? Is that what I'm telling him?
Nope.
So I went to the doctor yesterday to see if my wrist would be cleared and I could come back to the WWE, and guess what? It is cleared.
Dun, dun,
It
dun.
is cleared. It is cleared.
It's cleared.
It's cleared. Cleared.
So she'll be back.
I will be back.
Who knows when? but
Yeah, but that's just how it goes.
We'll figure it out.
All right, what do you got? You got anything good over there? Too
I
slow.
don't. I'm really slow. Yeah.
I like that this person just put, "She's coming."
COMING.
Good.
Specify the spelling.
I don't need to specify. I'm just reading. I'm just
Here's
reading
what I'll
that.
do. I
What
will
are you
read
gonna
you
do?
someone's tweet to me and then my response.
Okay, you do that. Please
'Cause
do.
This It's perfect.
Okay, tell me.
This person wrote to me. Don't worry, man. You will be back in the Raw main event when Brock Lesnar does another pull-apart brawl. To which I responded, sir, joke's on you. I've never been involved in any pull-apart with Brock Lesnar. Boom, roasted.
Are you so proud?
I am so proud.
Are you so proud of
I am
yourself?
so proud.
Yeah?
I look forward to the Brock Lesnar pull-apart.
Is Zeus Blitzer here for weather?
I'm going to find the weather first. And then carry on.
Why is he not prepared?
He's never
wanna know.
prepared.
Okay.
He licks his own butt. What do you think he does?
From Chihuahua, Mexico. All right. So then I got from Bradley McDonald. Those people are just haters. Nice.
Good.
It's good.
Give me something else good.
I am trying here. All right. So this person had a very long response. Without the backstage style works, there would be no show. Props to all who haul, assemble, manage, produce, and tear down. I drive a truck. Hopefully one day for WWE. Proud to be in the shadow. Ooh, Norman Kinney. That's awesome. I always am so amazed how things get set up and tore down at the shows. Like, it is a traveling production that is just enormous. So props to all the people that do that week after week. Do you have anything yet? What are you
I
doing?
bring up a picture of Zeus so people can see who's calling on the phone.
Okay.
So they have a frame of reference on
Okay.
who's talking to.
Good. I'm glad that this person gave me a nice meme saying, I appreciate you. See, I don't have a lot of hate after this tweet.
I
Why do you think that
appreciate
is?
you. What?
Why do you think that is? That when I post something about managing, people are super supportive. But if I post anything about wrestling, holy cow,
Because
I get...
Twitter was invented not so people could tell you when you do something right. Twitter was invented so people can tell you what you do when you do it wrong. That's the sole purpose of social media.
So I wrestle wrong?
It's never there to tell you when you are at the highlight of your life. Twitter likes to tweet when you are at the low point of your life.
Okay.
Twitter likes to tell you when you have screwed up, when you should do something different, when you should...
So what you're saying is I shouldn't wrestle.
No, what I'm saying is that they want to attack you at your lowest point. You've admitted it to millions of people that you've never considered yourself a good wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
You just said it. And
You're supposed to think that I'm good, though.
I think you're fantastic. But what I'm saying is that when anyone has a differing opinion of you,
Yes.
so in their head, so most people will take it this way. Most people that write that probably have never heard you go on a podcast or a radio station and say, look, I respect all the girls that are wrestling now. I never considered myself a great wrestler. I like to get in there every now and then, but I really prefer managing. And I only know you said that because you've said it on 6 million interviews that I've been with you that I've heard over and over again, and you've put it on your Twitter. But when you put something on social media that hints at the fact that you could be in a wrestling ring, or that you want to return, and people can twist it to say you want to return to the ring even though you've never said ring, they want to jump on that because now they can now attack you saying, well, you're not a good wrestler, why would you return? You've had 20 matches in your entire career. Like they want to find something that they can twist to make their own point because it's just a big blob of negativity. That's what Twitter is.
Yes.
A big blob of negativity.
Well, it's definitely something that you're constantly fighting against. But I do think it's important, that we do show the good and the bad when it comes to Twitter. So is Zeus Blitzer here?
He's right here. Here he is. He's calling in. Here he is. Huh? Can you guys hear me all right? Hello? Can you hear me? I'm calling from a lousy cell phone.
We can hear you. We can hear you, Zeus.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Zeus.
Zeus, what's up, man? Hey, my brother. What's going on? No one's going to find this funny but me and you. This is the voice that I give to our talking dog. Well, he's not really talking, but this is the voice. I'll literally sit on our couch and just go back and forth with Zeus, making up his voice. And having him talk.
Okay, we don't want to hear you though. We want to hear Zeus. What is the? Can you tell us about the weather?
As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. I'm sitting here at Starved Rock. I'm freezing my ass off. But guess what? It's going to be 71 degrees with a low of 49. So that means, Mom, take me outside so I can pee. Thank you. And for the record, I do not lick my own butt off. All right, Zeus out. Thank you, Zeus. Call back later.
Thank you, Zeus.
All right, my brothers. You're still on, Zeus. Hang up the phone. I don't know how. Just throw it. All right, see you later.
I also heard that we have another caller, Mikhail. He's going to discuss politics. Something.
You want me to see if he's on?
Yeah, just.
First of all, his name's Mikhail, not Mikkel. Let me text him and see if he's ready.
All right.
Hello, am I on? Hello. Hello, greetings from Motherland. Hello.
So Mikhail.
Yes.
So we
Yes.
we heard that you had an opinion about what just recently happened about Donald Trump getting laughed at, or
He was not laughed at.
Oh, okay.
They were laughing with him.
Oh.
He tell funny joke and I laugh. Mr. Trump, you're a great guy. You tell joke in front of the UN Assembly. Me like very much. They joked, you stopped, you listened, you heard them smile. You tell very funny joke. You said, I am greatest president ever. Everyone love you. We all laugh. Especially here in mother country.
Mikhail, how's your day going?
It's great. I have one room shack. One light bulb, one bed, one sink.
You keep it simple.
Keep it simple. I like simple. Simple's good.
Yeah.
I own a pair of moccasins too. One pair of moccasins.
Yeah, do you wear them every day?
Every day I wear them, I sleep with them. Because if you put them outside, people steal. They come, they steal my moccasins. I go, oh, no more moccasins. I need more moccasins.
Okay.
I wake up one morning, I cook my scrambled eggs, and I walk outside. Where are my moccasins? Do you know who took my moccasins?
I don't know who took your moccasins.
Well, if
No.
you find them, let me know. Then I will have 2 pairs of moccasins.
You will be a fancy man.
One to
then.
bed, one to night.
One tonight?
Don't you correct my English.
I would never. Excuse me.
You are excused.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You have a great day.
What, am I
Mikhail.
done? There's still like 23 hours left in the day. What am I supposed to do?
Clean your moccasins.
They're already clean. They never come off my feet.
Maybe clean one table.
I only have one table, constantly clean.
Are you hungry? Cook some
No.
scrambled eggs.
I don't want scrambled eggs. I want kumquabush
I don't know
in
what
vodka.
that is.
And a big bottle of vodka.
Well, we gotta say goodbye to our Instagram peeps. We have 29 seconds left over there.
Good night. God bless. Thank you. Come again.
Peace, friends.
See you later.
They just
Goodbye.
they're a little close.
Come to Motherland. Bring me moccasins.
Press
To-
end.
I will now hit begin.
End.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right, now that we've lost our live feed over on Instagram,
Can't we just start it again?
what?
Can't you just start it again?
I probably could start.
What
it.
I meant to say was, can't you just start it again? Yes?
Mikhail, do you have any other news about Donald Trump or the Senate or Congress or anything in politics right now?
All politicians are liars.
Oh,
Republican, Democrat, they all lie.
okay.
I dislike them all. We need one dictator, Mikhail. That is it. I tell you when to go to bed, when to sleep, when to wake up, when to eat, when
Wouldn't
to
sleeping
pee.
and going to bed be the
See,
same
you would be
thing?
kicked out of country for disrespecting leader. See you later. I will now take your moccasins and kick you out of my country.
I need my moccasins.
Too bad. I need many pair.
You said you have one.
I have one, but if I was leader, I'd have 2. People would come in and they go, only 1 pair of moccasins. I thought you were leader. And I say, check the closet. They would check the closet. 2 pair. Oh, Mikhail, we bow down to you.
Mikhail, thank you so much for being on Mike and Maria Wonderland.
You are welcome. Next week, maybe I host.
maybe you host, yes.
Get away from my moccasins.
Your friend Mikhail is very interesting.
I love Mikhail. I met him at a dive bar.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yes, where at?
I can't tell you.
No. Oh.
Your giveaways. He's a spy.
He's a
He's
spy.
a Russian spy.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes, okay, sure.
I can't tell you, or the police will be there.
Uh-huh. No, okay.
He goes back and forth from Motherland to the States.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice of him.
All right. How do we turn this on?
What?
How my iPad was at 90%. It's now at 18%.
No, your iPad
Oh,
is
mine's
over
over
here,
here. That's
and
not
my
mine.
iPad is over there.
I get very confused.
You're off. Mikhail's done.
Stop calling me Kyle. Sorry. Just like Zeus, I don't know how to use phone. Maybe I throw it, but I keep it. Try it now. Good call, Zeus. Here we go. Whee.
Oh gosh, yeah, good. I'm so glad that we were able to talk to both Mikhail and Zeus Blitzer. I'm still waiting for.
Based on this podcast, people will still think I'm on drugs.
Possibly. That's okay. That is okay. But he's not. He's good to go.
Good. I am not.
All right. Well, I think we should call it a day.
Okay.
I think we've kind of brought everybody up to speed about what's been going on in the past few years. We do have to. We do have to discuss the moon and.
Hey, yo, am I on, guy? Hold
Tommy,
on.
is it Tommy?
This is Tommy from Revere. I wanted to call in and talk about sports.
Okay.
Would you want to hear about the banner that I found?
I really wanted to hear about the Patriots, but if you want
Do
to
you want to talk about Patriots? We will talk about Gronk,
I do like Gronk.
Brady,
yes.
the GOAT, Edelman, who?
Is Brady really still the GOAT, though?
Are
It
you
seems
kidding
like
me?
the last
I'm going to
couple
leave
of-
this studio right now.
You're not in
Who's
the
the
studio.
GOAT?
You're calling.
Who's the GOAT? I will throw my phone. Just like Zeus and just like Mikhail. Mine's in the ravine. You should throw it. It's a very good idea. Throw it. Mine went in the river.
Oh my! Where is it that ever? At the harbor.
The harbor. Boston Harbor. You want me to throw it in the harbor, Zeus? Yes. All right, I'll throw it in the harbor.
Okay.
Don't you question whether Brady's the GOAT guy. He's
okay.
the greatest of all time.
So
G-O-A-T.
even though he's had a tough couple of weeks, you still believe
He
that-
didn't have a tough couple weeks. He's surrounded by trash.
Oh my!
You can't throw a ball to trash. What'll happen? It'll be stinky. He's surrounded by stinky trash.
Okay.
But he's the greatest.
Yeah.
In Belichick, we trust. He'll turn it around. Watch.
Uh,
He'll be 100-0.
I don't know if I necessarily believe that.
Why don't you believe it?
You
Because you're a
know,
Bears fan? Oh, you like watch the Bears?
I do enjoy the Bears. Yes.
Bears.
They have a winning record. That's
They suck.
good.
The Bears are terrible.
Not this year. The Patriots are terrible.
No, they're not. They'll turn it around. It's only, 3 games in?
3 games in.
They'll be in the Super Bowl next week.
I think you
5 rings, guy. Brady's got 5 rings.
got- Yeah.
How many does Mitch Tribulewski have? What is his name? Mitchski. We'll call him Mitchski. What does he got? Or Khalil Mack. He's garbage. Hot garbage. Let me tell you about this banner I found, though. So I was
Okay.
driving on 93, right? And all of a
Holy
sudden,
crap.
my brother Paulie, he's like, hey, look it. That looks like a piece of paper. And I'm like, Paulie, that ain't a piece of paper. That's a banner. So we cut across 3 lanes of traffic on 95. If you're from Boston, you know 95 turned into 128. But we weren't on 128 yet. We were on 95. So 95 didn't turn into 128. We saw this banner. So I run across 3 lanes of traffic. and
Who's driving if you were running?
I was driving. We pulled over first. Don't interrupt my story, guy.
Oh, okay.
I gotta get this out so the Red Sox know that I have their banner. So all of a sudden I saw it, and it was a Red Sox banner. It said opening day, and I was like, Paulie, I bet this belongs to the Red Sox. He was like, how did you know? I said, it says Red Sox banner on it. B-A-N-N-A, banner. That's what it said on it. So you know what? We're gonna give it back to the Red Sox, but we just want maybe some playoff tickets. We want to give it back. It's not like we want to keep it. It's not like it's hung up in my man cave right now next to my Brady jersey that says Brady forever. It's not like it's there. I mean, I could have easily just hung it up to my No Ma poster, but I didn't hang it up to my No Ma poster.
What is Noma?
No Ma! You don't know who No Ma is? That's
No.
it. My phone's going in the harbor. See you later. I'm out. Nice throw. Very good throw, yes.
Well,
Thank you, Miko.
thank you, Tommy, for your.
The pleasure was yours.
Good. I appreciate that, Tommy, as well. And we thank all of you for listening and enjoying our little adventure that we went down. Next week we will be back on Mike and Maria in Wonderland. I believe that Tommy and Mikhail and Zeus Blitzer will also.
They'll all be back.
They'll be
week.
back. Everybody's getting brand new cell phones.
We're going to try to
apparently.
get Zeus in studio. All right. I need my own dressing room.
Very pretentious.
Zeus is the
4.5 pounds.
He's the only
Chihuahua.
pretentious one. Tommy will walk in like 20 minutes late.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm talking sports guy. Give me a microphone.
All right. Well,
Mikhail
thank
will
you.
be digging through the trash. Oh, banana peel. Great success. See you later.
Are you done over there? Huh? This is Mike Bennett. I'm Maria Canellis Bennett, and this has been Mike and Maria in Wonderland.
Goodbye.